think if I was gonna narrow it down to 5 submissions that I think they're really important to understand principally and technically when you're first starting your jiu-jitsu journey and for years to come after that, it would probably be these 5. So let's jump right into it, and the first one I would talk about is probably Americana. Now, the basic application is if I can isolate the arm like this in approximately 90 degrees here like this, and then I get my elbow down here in the wedge of his neck, and I'm gonna look to go 5 fingers over so I can really wrap over this way and get my wrist above my knuckles like this here and keep his wrist pinned to the floor. I'm gonna go palm up underneath so I can get under. This is a little harder sometimes, and this allows me to wedge up underneath. Find my own wrist again, so double like thumbless grips here. I'm gonna turn my head away from it. What's happening over on this side may be either that I'm pinching my knee and elbow together like this, or I'm dropping this back and hooking his leg if it's available to me, so I can drop my hip heavy. Once there, I think about this as a paintbrush kind of move. So this is like the handle of the paintbrush, these are the bristles, and I'm gonna paint a stroke from here down toward his toes this way. Everything about submissions from jiu-jitsu, one of the ones that really pops into people's mind first of all, so it had to be included, is the straight arm lock. And again, not just because it can happen from mount, but it can happen from side control, it can happen from guard, it can happen from north-south, it can happen from back mount. Application, the way we typically learn is the guy's kind of trying to bench press me. Once I get in this mount position, I drop my weight kind of dead on him like this. I go one hand in between on his chest, one hand on top like this. So I'm putting the weight back on him, and that's gonna make my legs weightless to be able to slide up into this kind of position, funnel my hips up very close to his shoulder, keep my center right over his shoulder line like this, lean the weight on my south side leg so this leg is light to come across here, and then I'm gonna use my arms to hug, keep up this way to fold out on the arm here, making sure, trying to keep the thumb up just as a landmark so that I know the well of the elbow is pointing up this way. This is from the guard, from close guard, and we'll go from here. And this is where he gives me some kind of frame structure like this. You're told a lot in jiu-jitsu whenever you're first beginning your stages, and later on too, is don't put your hands on the floor when you're inside the closed guard like this. And this is one of the main reasons why. Because when I see this here to isolate this, I can look to attack this bent arm structure. So I'm gonna go to sit up like this here. As I go to sit up in this way, I'm going to intersect kind of this area, and I'm gonna grab the wrist here. This is gonna be a thumb full grip because I'm gonna push with it. And I'm gonna come over here this way and hook. I don't necessarily have to connect. If I can, I will. But if not, I'm just gonna hook here like this. This is just as much of me pulling the elbow as it is pushing the wrist whenever I come back down over this. And then I'm gonna take this pinky finger here and put it in that ear right over there. It probably won't make it. So we go here. This also may be that whenever we're in this position and he goes and he pushes us up,